Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chelloveck Movies. My name is John, and this video is going to be what I've picked up recently in the sales. Predominantly the HMV sale and also the Black Friday sale. Also I've been to CEX and I've got some few bargains from there. But first I'd like to give a shout out to the channel Daisuke Beppu. Now Daisuke invited me onto his channel and said that would you like to do like a one-to-one interview with him, and I was like, yes please. I'm a big fan of Daisuke's. I've been a big fan of his since, well, long before I ever thought about my channel. And I've taken a few inspirations from Daisuke to where I go with my channel and how I sort of present my channel. And I found it was great to actually talk to him behind the scenes, like before the video and after the video. I had a good little bit of a chin wag, and it was just so great to talk to this fella that I've been like a fan of for that length of time. So I'm going to leave a link to that video down below if you haven't seen it yet. So Daisuke offers a wealth of content on his channels. He does a bit of everything, and he's a big fan of a lot of great movies. And I do urge you to get across to check out his channel if you haven't seen it before, and you will be impressed by his presentation, which is one of the first things which made me want to watch his channel. He's got such a laid back and friendly like air about him, which was great to actually talk to him face to face, and that came across like in abundance when I was talking to him in the chat and also behind the scenes. So I want to say a big thank you to Daisuke for inviting me onto that chat. And please go and check his channel out because you'll not be disappointed. So that's a massive shout out to Daisuke Beppu. So first up from CEX, I've been after these movies. I've seen these movies for a long time. I know I've seen maybe a couple of them back in the day, but I haven't seen any of them for a long time. Now my good friend Jason Brett, I'll leave a link down to his video down below when he talks about this franchise. He's a big fan of them, and it made me want to actually watch them again. And of course it's one of those things where you just can't see them properly on Blu-ray. In the UK you've got to pay a fortune for a one, and across in the States, well, I was going to do that, but on DVD for £4 I picked up Critters, the Ultimate Collection. I didn't even know this thing existed. This has Critters 1, 2, 3 and 4, and also it does have an added hidden alternative ending to part 1. But it's just that it's bare bones, but it doesn't matter. This is just mainly sort of like placeholder until the UK gets released the Critters box set, which I'm hoping is going to happen. It's probably to do with rights, as it always is. So you can't go wrong for £4. Now this here is it's actually got a booklet in it as well, which I was quite surprised with. And yeah, so you've got all the discs on separate discs. And the quality actually, when I watched them, because I thought, well, they'll do until the Blu-ray comes across. But when I checked this out, I was quite pleased with the quality on it. The fact that it looked really good. The sound quality in here, I think it's all 5.1. So for £4 you can't grumble. It's funny when you see these things, you don't know they even exist. So that's Critters, the Ultimate Collection. Next up from CEX for £1 on Blu-ray, I got Rush with a lenticular cover. That's a great cover, that. Now I've been wanting to see this movie since it came out. It sort of came and went, and that was it. Now this has got a lovely setup here with this lenticular case. So for £1 I thought I've got to get it. But when I got it home, and I got this a couple of weeks ago actually, at the start of this month, November. When I got it home and I went to check it out, the disc wasn't actually in there, was it? So I had to go. Well, I was going all the way back to CEX, and I'll show you a few things that I got from there. And I thought, yeah. So I went to the counter and I said to the guy, I did have the receipt thankfully, and I said to him, I haven't got the disc in here. I bought this and I haven't got the disc. And the fella says, well, that's unusual. And I thought, well, you should know because you're the one who served me. But anyway. And then he went and he says, well, there's none in the shop. He looked on the computer and they said, there's none in the shop. And I said, I know there's none in the shop, but there'll be one in that section where you've got the R's. So anyway, he went and looked in it, and then lo and behold, he found it, which is obviously, that's the story behind that. He hadn't even got it out and put it in. I wasn't taking any notice. And usually I always check the disc when I come out, but for some reason I didn't check this one. I put this on and I thought, I'm really interested to see what this looked like. Now, it seemed from the bits that I flicked through, it seems like this movie is one of those movies that's very high paced. It's like jump cut here, cut all over the place. I'm not too sure if I'm a fan of that actually, that filmmaking way. It feels a bit too sort of busy. But I'm a big fan of the original story of this in real life with James Hunt and Niki Lauda. That was a battle to be like you couldn't believe in this Formula One. So yeah, I want to see this one. I'm just a little bit not too sure about the way that the film was made. It might not be the best of films to watch. It might not be an enjoyable watch, but anyway, I'm going to give it a shot. And I'm so pleased to get this after not having a disc in the box. Shame on you, CEX. So that's Rush. So next up from CEX, on the back of receiving this from Baz, remember I got this from Baz, this amazing HD DVD version of A Clockwork Orange that I never knew existed. I got this, the HMV Premium Collection of Clockwork Orange. Now, this one comes with a booklet, nice booklet there. Now I've got a few of these booklets and other releases and I don't actually know. Actually, I'm just thinking there, I've collected all my Clockwork Oranges together and I've got 10 of them. But I'm just thinking when I looked at this, I've actually got 11 because there's another one over there. My God. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a photograph of them all. I'm going to put them on my Instagram page, WarrenPeace666. Get across there and have a look. And you'll see all the ones I've got. So anyway, this was £5. I was looking at this in HMV and I couldn't see it. So for £5, 3-disc set, you get a DVD and 2 Blu-rays, I believe. Yeah. And it'll probably be everything I've got. I've got this already, but because this is now my 11th edition, I just had to pick it up. And of course, when I took it to the Debs and says, "Look what I've got," she went, "I don't believe it." And I says, "Well, there's a story behind it. I have to get this," because then she'd walked away by that point, you know, completely not impressed at all. But this one, look, it's a great version. I don't need it because I've got everything on this, but I haven't got this particular one. And to see it in this great condition for £5, I had to get it. So big shout out again to Baz for reminding me about getting my search completed. I must admit there's only a couple, if any, that I've got to get now on this one. Actually, I found another DVD in the cupboard which I didn't know I had. Actually, it would have been good if I'd shown this to the Debs and she said, "Yarbles to you. Great bolshe your block hose to thee and thine." Yeah, that would have been great. So that's A Clockwork Orange. So before I show the pickups in the HMV sale, I picked this up, and I don't think I've shown it yet on the channel. I picked up Dream a Little Dream on Blu-ray. This is before the sales come out. I mean, it's $9.99. It would have been great to get this in the sale, but that's a great price to get it, especially for a Vestron release. Now this stars the two Coreys, Corey Feldman and Corey Haim, and they were releasing quite a lot of stuff in the late 80s. And I must admit, all the movies I've seen of them, I've really enjoyed them. This one here, I'm pretty sure I must have seen this, but I can't remember anything about it. But I'm so pleased that the two Coreys are getting some of their stuff released, because really they've got quite a lot of stuff and quite a big fan base, but they just don't seem to have their stuff available in the UK that much. So I put this on just to have a quick flick of it and see. There's the synopsis there. It's got a great cast in it, and I flicked it on just to see what was happening. There's the special features there. And I've got to say that the picture quality, it's all right. It's not too bad. It's not the best picture quality I've seen, but it's an 80s movie. It might not have had that much of a good treatment to it. That's not taking anything away from it. I did think it looked better than I've ever seen it before. You know, what you would imagine VHS would have been the last time I've seen it. But it's not mind-blowing, because some of these Blu-rays you get these days are literally mind-blowing, but this one isn't one of them. But it's still a pretty good effort, I've got to say that. But it's just nice to have this one available in the UK. So I hope they get out more of the stuff from the two Coreys. That's Dream a Little Dream. So next up in the HMV sales, I picked up in the 2 for £20 Blu-ray section, I picked up Brian and Charles. Now I've been after this movie for quite a while. The reason why I wanted to see it was because Jamie Powell, I'll leave a link to his channel down below, his great channel. He's been raving about this movie. He said it's his favourite movie of the whole year. And I thought, well, and I know that Jamie Powell's got he's got the same sort of, the humour that I like. And I know that this is meant to be very, and I've checked it out a little bit, it seems to be very out of the norm, which is great. And the picture quality here is absolutely fantastic, by the way. So yes, Jamie said it was great, so that's good enough for me. So please get across to Jamie's channel and check his channel out. But yeah, this one looks like quite strange. The fact is this fella, and he's got this kind of robot there as well, which the bit I saw of the movie, he was actually sitting in the shower and he was getting his eyebrows sort of trimmed by him. Yeah, it's nuts. And he went to the corner shop and he was buying some stuff from the corner shop and he was dragging things around on his feet. Just mad. But really, so I mean, it's got a very good write-up about this movie. Everyone who's seen it said it's absolutely brilliant, and I can't wait to check it out actually, because I like these off-kilter comedies, shall we say. So that's Brian and Charles. So the other movie I got in the 2 for £20 sale was Black Phone. Now I got this one on the strength of Keith from Euphoria Pictures. I'll leave a link down to his channel down below. He's raved about this movie the other day when I was on his live stream with him, with Playtendoguy and also Andy and Mike. I'll leave a link down to that video down below. Had such a great time there. We talked for 6.5 hours, can you believe it? He was raving about it, and he told me, Keith, plenty of times he thinks it's one of the best things he's seen. So on the strength of that, I was always going to get it. And I put it on, and it's got a really good quality. The picture quality was absolutely really pin sharp. It's one of these things when you get these movies, these brand new movies on Blu-ray, you could more or less put them in and say, look at this 4K. And some people may think that it's just that good. And I like the fact that Blu-rays are catching up with 4Ks on some of the newer movies. The older movies in 4K are a different ball game altogether. But so pleased to pick this up. And really, on the strength of Keith's recommendation, I want to get that sorted, because it's meant to be a really spooky movie. It's made by the same people who made Sinister, so it should be good. So that's Black Phone. So when I went to pay for those two at the counter, there was actually, you could buy this one for £9.99, this 4K. So I got Knives Out for £9.99 without a case, but that doesn't matter, because thanks to my good friend Gary Watson, who's come to the rescue again, so that's better. It's a lovely slipcover, that. And it's one that me and the Debs wanted to check out, and I've been waiting around for this 4K, and obviously I knew I can get it in a sale because I've got this slipcover I can chuck over the top. I was looking in CEX actually, but of course for some reason the CEX prices are like literally nothing one day and then loads the next day, so I hadn't seen this on 4K in there at a reasonable price. But for £10 brand new, I thought I'll have to get this. Now the picture quality on here, I've got to say, it looks incredibly sharp. It's one of those ones where you think, my God, the features on people's faces is just next level. I mean, it's a brand new movie, so it should look like that. The colours really stand out here in people's clothing. The house isn't that colourful, but the people are. And Daniel Craig's eyes, the blue eyes, my God, it's just a visual treat. And it looks exceptional on 4K, and hopefully it'll be a movie that we'll enjoy. But I can't wait to see this one again. I know I'll see that in all my videos, but yeah, this is the one that we've always wanted to watch for a long time. We've even put it off on Sky Movies because I wanted to get the 4K. So that's Knives Out, with a big shout out to Gary Watson. Cheers, mate. So next up, in the Amazon Black Friday sale, I picked up Thunderbirds 6. That's to go with Thunderbirds Are Go. I picked that up the other week. That was from CEX. That was £5. This was only £6. And I was looking in CEX for this, and it wasn't cheap in CEX. So I thought, right, I'll get it off there. £6.50, I think it was. You get a booklet in there, as you do with Thunderbirds Are Go. So I put this on, and the colours on here are stunning. I must admit the picture's not as sharp as it is on this one, but it still looks pretty good for the mid-60s. These are movies that I love, and I hope that the Debs would watch this for me. I don't know if they'd be... She's a big fan of these kind of Gamera movies and Godzilla. She likes the small... You know, the sets with models in it, but I don't know if she'll go for this, but she might do, I don't know, we'll have to see. But so pleased to get, well, that's them got now, because there's only 2 of them, so that's them done. And I will probably move on to the TV series one day down the line. So that's Thunderbird 6. So next, in the Black Friday sale from Amazon, I picked up the Universal Monsters Collection Volume 2. Now this features The Mummy, The Bride of Frankenstein, Phantom of the Opera, and Creature from the Black Lagoon. It doesn't have the 3D version in here. That is on the Blu-rays. So I put this on because this is a set that I've been after. I've got the first one, and I wanted to get this one. I knew I was going to get. I'm going to get them all on 4K when they come out. And to be honest, they look something else on 4K. But I'm going to do another video on this one because I'm going to look into it a little bit. And the reason why I'm looking into it is because some of them on here look absolutely amazing, to the point of I'm thinking it's the best. In fact, it has got the best Universal Monsters 4K film on here, which I'm not going to now. It'll be a bit of a spoiler for the next one. Like I say, I'm going to do a separate video on it. And one of them is a little bit confusing because I think it's been heavily DNR'd, I think. So before I do a video on this release, I'm going to compare it to the previous Blu-rays of these movies and just see what I've got with them, because I've got a few thoughts on what I think could be happening on this set. But for £45, reduced from about 60, I think it was, it's a no-brainer to pick these up. And like I say, one of these movies is literally the best looking Universal Monsters movie by far. So there you go, that's what I got from there. Now very quickly I'm going to talk about this set. So what I've got over in that box is actually the second one of this set, the Shore Scope Volume 2 over there, and this is Volume 1. This is an amazing set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open that one in a separate video and then talk about that. But these are just so good. Now I didn't get that one in the sale, it's just literally come out, but this one was so good, and I did pick this up in the sale. This was about 70 quid. And if it's, I think it's around about £70 now in the Black Friday sale. I urge you to get across to this. This is a lump. I know there's another two coming out after this, but where am I going to store them on the shelves? So anyway, keep an eye out for this one coming up. Doing a weightlifting now. So don't forget to check out those channels I was talking about. So thanks for watching. You take care, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.